everybody, and welcome back to the ARC Audio Technical Training Series. This is episode number 8, and we're going to go over how to set up the PS8 for signal summing of your OEM signal interface coming from your stock radio. This is something that you would typically find with a factory system where you're having to have dedicated frequency-based signals coming from your factory system, meaning high level, mid-range level, and low level signal. This has got a very quick, very easy, and very well thought through process in order to be able to adjust this, giving you full flexibility and interface capability to more applications and more vehicles. So if this is your first time joining us though, we do recommend you go back and check out the other 7 episodes to make sure that you're up to speed on all of the other very important information that'll help you get your PS8 set up, running, and operating the way that you would expect it to. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the software. And once we have the software opened up, we're going to, most importantly, open up our meters. And like I say, you don't have to use the meters all the time, but for some of the signal portion setups, this is a great tool to have. So we're going to go ahead and start our pink noise. This is maximum unclipped full range pink noise from our source unit. And in this case, we have channels 1 and 2, which are our high level signal, channel 3, 4, which is our mid range, and channel 5, 6, which is our low frequency. In this case, you can see that we have an unbalanced level of signal here. So what we're going to do is you make sure that you're on analog inputs. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to first group these channels together. Because we're in pairs of high, mid-range frequency, and low, we're going to group 1 and 2 as group 1. We're going to group channels 3 and 4 as group 2. And we're going to group channels 5 and 6 as group 3. Now you can use whatever groups you want. This just happens to be the way that I'm linking these channels together. And as you make the changes here, we're going to come over here to input 3. And if you check out the meter, we're going to turn down the input level of this input. So you can drag it over and then start using the arrow keys for finer adjustment. And as you see now, you've got channels 3 and 4 drop to the same level as 1 and 2. Now we're going to come over to channels 5 and 6 and we're going to do the same thing. Oops, a little farther. And now we're going to use the arrow keys just to kind of button things up. And there you have it. So now we have equal level of signal coming on our high, mid-range, and mid-bass channels. Now we're going to come up to the mixer. Now that we've got all these balanced out, we need to make sure that we get full range signal going to each of these channels so you can actually orchestrate it based off of how you want to define it for the system: crossovers, equalization, signal delay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to focus on output 1. So in this case, input 1 is our left channel high frequency, input 3 is the mid-range left channel frequency, and input 5 is our low frequency left channel frequency. So we're going to go input 1 to output 1, input 3 to output 1, input 5 to output 1. And as you see, it automatically averages to where we don't exceed that magical 1.0 maximum signal level into the crossovers. Then we're going to go to our right channels, input 2 to output 2, input 3 doesn't go anywhere, right? Because that's our left. So then we go to input 4 to output 2, input 6 to output 2. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to carry this on through this system. So basically all the odds are going to go to all the odd outputs. Just like this. Now we're going to come in and we're going to finish off all the evens to all the even outputs. So this is basically what it would look like if you were trying to sum full range signal into all 8 channels of outputs. Now let's say if you have low frequency coming in on channels 5 and 6 and you want to retain that, and you don't necessarily need full range signal and you just want to sum mono, you can come over here and you can uncheck these boxes here, check off these 2, and now you've sum monoed left and right low frequency signal for sub only, so you can retain things potentially like the factory subwoofer control. And that's it. Now you move on to the crossovers and your delay and your EQ. and off you go. Well, I hope that was easy for you. If you have any questions, you guys have our numbers, but good luck and good tuning.